Tonight, we honor the late Major General Gary L. Harrell, a man whose 35 years of storied service in both U.S. Army conventional and special forces included numerous well-known operations from Grenada to Afghanistan. A career that culminated as the commander of Special Operations Command Central and deputy commander of Army Special Operations Command. A true exemplar of the quiet professional, Major General Gary L. Harrell.
Gary came to me one day and said, I want to go into Special Forces. So he went through selection, he made it, and then our first assignment was down in Panama. And from there we moved back to go to the advanced course, and then from there we went back to the 82nd.
Gary was under General Garrison's command as a company commander in the 505th and went through selection for a special mission unit, and that's where he came to work for me.
When he went to Panama for the mission to rescue Kurt Muse, he didn't talk a lot about it. I mean, he was always kept secrets very well. But he did tell me later on that he could not believe the bravery of the men that he served with, what they were willing to do to rescue Kurt. He said it was just unbelievable.
When the helicopter landed, some fellow meets me, and he was the deputy commander of that special missions unit, and he brought me into a tent, and I realized that I was soaking wet, covered in blood. Not one drop of that blood was mine. All that blood came from the people who risked their life to save me. I've come to know the faces behind the grease paint, and they are the epitome of the silent warrior. And General Harrell, to have spent all those months honing this team to come in there and save my life, it's extraordinary. And what I have found out is that everybody loved that man dearly, and he will be missed by many in uniform, and by me and my family.
After Panama, he came back home, and life just picked back up. And then it wasn't too long till he was in a very bad helicopter crash. But when he got to San Antonio, they were looking at his x-rays and they go, "Oh, don't move, your back's broken." He said, "Quit joking around." He said, "I've been doing exercises, trying to stretch and everything. Just thought I had a kink in my back." And then before long, another thing started brewing. Desert Shield, Desert Storm. And from then on, he was involved in, planning for that.
Together we did Just Cause, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and after that he ended up as a key commander and a ground force leader in Mogadishu during that period of time.
General Harrell knew both the individuals that received the Medal of Honor for their actions in Somalia, and in fact I remember hearing the radio conversation several times asking them if they understood what they were about to get into. And again, as a commander, he had to have that discussion with them to make sure that they clearly understood what the potential outcome was going to be. I mean, he was close with all his men in the squadron, so I know, nobody in the moment knows what the outcome is going to be, but he clearly understood what the risk was and wanted to make sure that they understood the risk, but there was no hesitation whatsoever.
Prior to the 3rd of October, only a couple of days prior, in fact, I wanted to take a squadron picture. And the picture amongst us has become an iconic picture. It was the last picture that was taken of the assault element, minus the Rangers, but it included the entire squadron. It included our 4 SEALs. It included our Air Force, CCT, and PJs. I got a copy of that photo. I framed it, and in the frame, I have a copy of the memorial ceremony that I put in with the picture. It's It's one of my treasures.
Next time I saw him was for the Second Gulf War, where he was SOC sent in running very complex joint combined special operations in support of General Franks and CENTCOM.
He listened to people. He would go out and talk to individuals on any given day at any point in time. And sometimes he would just say, "Come on, Sergeant Major, let's go find some people and talk with them and see how things are going." I had always seen commanders do different things, but I'd never seen a commander that truly cared about every person in his command as I did with Gary Harrell. He was my best friend. And he and I sat on his front porch for about the last 3 months of his life. And every day was a blessing to sit with that man. I learned not just about him, I learned things about compassion, about how he was ready to go to his next life. But what I realized the most about Gary Harrell was the love he had for his family.
I just want to thank everybody for putting him in for this award. Our life was just surrounded with love and joy. It was really the most wonderful life. I mean, he showed me the world. I met kings and ambassadors and generals and met people in foreign countries. We got to go to Russia and so many countries and meet so many people. And he always shared when he talked to people that the type of people that he served with, and he was so honored to serve with. And he always kept that with him. I mean, that meant so much to him. The people was all about people.
He's been involved in a lot of things, a lot of very historic, strategic missions. Some are not known for obvious reasons, but he represents the true quiet professional.